Good evening and welcome to Prime News. I'm Chatanu Dwella here with the headlines. The President has emphasized that ministers should serve not only in their areas but the entire country, and their sole responsibility should be to do so, eschewing party politics. The Foreign Ministry claims there have been no violent protests targeting the US Embassy, its diplomats, officials or citizens, as claimed by the US State Department's security message. The police have announced that the law will be strictly enforced against those who flout election laws in the UVA. The Presidential Commission on Missing Persons concludes public sittings in Mannar. More than 200 have given evidence. Another 26 young Tamil women joined the army. And in news overseas, the United States has been criticized for failing to investigate Afghan civilian deaths. In local news, President Rajapaksa has emphasized that ministers are there not only to serve their areas but the entire country. He pointed out that their sole responsibility should be to serve irrespective of party politics. The Matale District Special Development Committee meeting was held at the Matale Urban Council Auditorium this morning under the patronage of the President. The President gave instructions to the officials to immediately launch a special program upgrading the educational status and literacy in the Matale district.
මේ ප්‍රදේශයේ අධ්‍යාපන මට්ටම දියුණු කිරීමටත් සාක්ෂරතාවයන් දියුණු කිරීමටත් පියවරක් ගන්න ඕන.
The President said that initiatives had to be taken to improve the standard of education and literacy in the area. He said their intention was to increase the computer literacy rate in Sri Lanka by the year 2016 to 75%. In such a case, if this lethargy in the Matale district was not overcome, it would not be possible to achieve this standard. As such, he told the officials that they should be ready to achieve this aim. He said that irrespective of party politics, everyone should join hands to achieve this target.
පක්ෂ ભેද ඕන නැහැ මෙතෙන්දී. මේක පොදු දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ කළ යුතු කාර්යයක් වශයෙන් සලකලා යුතු කරන්නයි කියලා මම උපදෙස් දෙනවා.
Several matters common to the Matale district came up for deliberation at this discussion. The President took the initiative of sorting out many issues in the area. Information was revealed to the President that parents living in affiliation to the Matale district were not sending their children to schools. The President told the official to take immediate action in this respect. The meeting also discussed problems encountered by cardamom cultivators of the Matale district. The President, who gave instructions to officials to resolve their land disputes, also told them to provide land beyond the Knuckles Mountain. Provincial councillors of the opposition also joined in this development committee meeting. They too presented their problems to the President. The President expressed his gratitude to them for participating in the meeting. Ministers, parliamentarians and many other senior officials were among those who joined in this discussion. There have been no instances of violent protests targeting the US Embassy, its diplomats, officials or citizens, though claimed by the US State Department's security message that such incidents could occur. The External Affairs Ministry has made this reference, issuing a special statement. The ministry said it took serious note of the security message for US citizens issued by the US State Department, which regrettably creates a false and alarmist view of the conditions prevalent in Sri Lanka. The right to freedom of expression and peaceful protest are important values in a democracy, and the public in Sri Lanka have the liberty to exercise these rights, which are granted by the constitution of the country. The recent demonstration opposite the US Embassy was organized by an opposition political party. The protest had been peaceful. In fact, it is known that the US Embassy in Colombo maintains working relations with all opposition parties, including that which staged this demonstration. The law enforcement authorities in Sri Lanka have taken necessary action consistently to ensure the safety and security of diplomats, their families, premises and property in accordance with the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, and continue this practice diligently. A significant number of US citizens live in Sri Lanka and also visit the island every year. There have not been any reports of their safety and security being challenged. The External Affairs Ministry said that the government remains committed to maintain law and order in the country and protect not only its own citizens but diplomats as well as non-nationals in the country at all times. Continuing in local news, the law will be strictly enforced against any person who flouts election laws during the Uva Provincial Council polls. Police media spokesman SSP Ajit Rohana has called for the support of everyone to maintain law and order. The police media spokesman said that the police have drawn up a special program in view of the Uva Provincial Council polls, particularly to apprehend those who violate election laws and also those who maintain offices, stage processions and use public address systems illegally. He revealed of plans to increase the strength of the police within the next few days. The STF has already been deployed in Mahayangana. Those who violate laws will be arrested immaterial of party politics. An illegal procession was staged on the 6th of this month in Mahayangana. Also, an inquiry is in progress against 5 candidates. He called on everyone to adhere to election regulations. If not, the law will be enforced to the letter. More members have joined the United People's Freedom Alliance with the aim of consolidating the victory of the alliance at the Uva Provincial Council polls. A group of strong United National Party members from Siambalanduwa in Monragala has secured the membership of the Freedom Alliance to ensure its victory at the provincial polls. These UNP members secured party membership at a public meeting held at Siambalanduwa with the participation of former Uva Chief Minister Shashindra Rajapaksa. They said they joined the Freedom Alliance as a massive development has taken place within the Uva province and they needed to support this work. In the meantime, a large group of UNP supporters from the Madula area in Monragala has crossed over to the Freedom Alliance. They secured the membership of the Freedom Alliance from former Uva Chief Minister Shashindra Rajapaksa at the opening of the Freedom Alliance Elections Office in Dambagala. The Presidential Commission investigating cases of missing persons has concluded its public sittings in Mannar. More than 200 persons gave evidence. The Commission commenced its 6th round of public sittings in Mannar on the 7th of this month. The sittings successfully concluded yesterday. The recording of evidence took place at the Mante West Divisional Secretariat and at the Madhu Divisional Secretariat in Mannar. The Presidential Commission on Missing Persons has received about 5,000 complaints from relatives of missing security forces personnel. Also, the complaints so far received by the Commission have exceeded 19,000. Minister Dalasalha Peruma has said that the government is giving priority to the youth of the country as an initial measure to surmount the unemployment challenge. Addressing the occasion, Minister Dalha Peruma noted that 2014 has been a remarkable year for Sri Lankan youth with the launch of the first National Youth Policy, hosting of the World Conference on Youth 2014, declaration of the National Skills Day, establishment of the first ever Commonwealth Youth Council Secretariat in Sri Lanka, and now the launch of the Human Development Report on Youth. He said the findings and recommendations of the report could be used as key policy tools as it provides a new platform for policy development and reforms in youth development. The minister was speaking at the launch of the National Human Development Report 2014. The government has succeeded in the deployment of trained workers to serve in other countries. The minister also referred to the many programs launched to strengthen the workforce. A group including UN Resident Coordinator and the UNDP Resident Representative Subinay Nandi were present on the occasion. Another 26 young Tamil women have joined the Sri Lanka Army. The Defence Ministry has launched a program of recruiting young Tamil men and women to the army to promote national unity. 26 young Tamil women selected from the Kilinochchi area and who had undergone a 4-month training recently passed out the Sri Lanka Signal Force camp premises. These recruits, apart from military training, learnt Sinhala and English languages as alternative communicative tools, together with basic computer knowledge and self-employment opportunities. This is the second batch of young Tamil women recruited to the army. Commander of Kilinochchi, Major General Sudhanta Ranasinghe, handed over motorbikes each worth 200,000 rupees to 4 new women soldiers. M.S. Rubini was adjudged as the best recruit for her outstanding performance in the course. These women soldiers will be serving as clerks and in civil coordinating activities. Continuing in local news, the massive program launched from village to village, empowering the Sri Lanka Freedom Party under the theme Ratarakina Nilpaura Surakimu Mawima is progressing on a successful note.
The Jayala Sri Lanka Freedom Party meeting under the theme Ratarakina Nilpaura Surakimu Mawima was held at Tudela. The meeting, organized by Minister Felix Pereira, was joined by a large number of party activists. Among those who addressed the meeting were Ministers Basil Rajapaksa and Rohita Begunawardena and Deputy Speaker Chandima Veerakudi. Parliamentarian Sudarshani Fernando Pulle organized the Sri Lanka Freedom Party meeting in Katana. The meeting was held at her residence with the participation of a large gathering. Many people's representatives, including Southern Province Chief Minister Shan Vijayalal De Silva and Deputy Minister Sarath Kumar Gunaratna, addressed the meeting.
The Vasantham FM radio channel has begun transmitting via internet, targeting the Sri Lankan Tamil audience spread throughout the country. This service was launched under the patronage of Chairman and Chief Executive of the Independent Television Network, Rosman Senaratne.
The Vasantham FM Tamil channel, which was launched targeting the Sri Lankan Tamil audience in the year 2008, has achieved a high popularity. The new internet radio service was unveiled targeting the Sri Lankan Tamil audience in other countries. This service is operative round the clock and could be accessed through www.vasanthamfm.lk website. IT and General Manager Aruna Vijayasinghe and senior officials were present on the occasion.
Applications are being issued for the Korean Language Proficiency Exchange. The Korean Language Proficiency Examination is being held this time for the 12th occasion. The Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment said that the issue of applications for the examination commenced yesterday at 14 centres located island-wide. Facilities are being provided to issue applications to all candidates sans any obstacles. Applications can be obtained from all regional centres from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Foreign Employment Bureau has called on candidates not to fall prey to any middlemen. It is mandatory to produce the original and a copy of the passport and 2 passport-sized photographs to secure application forms. The Korean Language Proficiency Examination will be held on the 11th and 12th of October. If the heroic soldiers, under the prudent guidance of the Commander-in-Chief, did not take initiatives to pulverize the LTTE, no one can estimate the damage they would have unleashed in the country and the lives taken away. These barbaric insurgents denigrated the entire humankind through these massive attacks to convey to the entire world their brutality and ruthlessness. Today's episode recalls the atrocities committed by these savage murderers.
The Tiger terrorists mounting a small weapons attack in the Jaffna area on 12 August 1983 killed 2 innocent civilians and embarked on their sinister campaign of shedding blood on this day throughout the dark era. On 12 August 1984, another civilian was killed following a bomb attack unleashed by the terrorists in the Umayalapuram area. On 12 August 1990, 6 war heroes made supreme sacrifices on behalf of the motherland in a terrorist mortar attack launched in Thale Mannar. 4 civilians were killed by the terrorists on the same day in a heinous attack launched by the terrorists in the Virat Shole area. 5 more civilians died in a terrorist attack in the Colony 11 area on 12 August 1991. The terrorists stormed into Kaddu Muravikulam area in Kadiraveli on 12 August 1994 and engaged in a fierce battle with the war heroes. As a result, 13 soldiers gave up their lives on behalf of the freedom of the motherland. On 12 August 1998, the war heroes waged a massive battle with the terrorists at Adampan in Kilinochchi. 33 brave soldiers sacrificed their lives in this skirmish on behalf of the motherland. 36 war heroes dedicated their lives on behalf of the country in the face of a savage attack mooted by the ruthless Tiger terrorists on 12 August 2006 at the Muhammale forward defense line. The final attack mooted by the terrorists on 12 August during the dark period was in the year 2008. 6 war heroes gave up their lives at 5 incidents in Valioya, Mallavi and Iluppakadavai areas. By then, the number of lives taken away by the terrorists on 12th August during the fear psychosis period was 162. Among them were 35 civilians. The other 127 were members of the security forces who gave up their lives for the freedom of the country. This unfortunate era, which was a curse for the country, was ended by the heroic soldiers who advanced in the operations to rout the terrorists due to the unflinching leadership of President Rajapaksa, who is the Commander-in-Chief, and the appropriate guidance of Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. As a result, no one in the north or east or in the south should have fear to live in freedom. They should also not fear of any unexpected explosions in any part of the island. The ferocious era has been ended, but it is unfortunate that opportunistic forces are attempting to destroy this freedom enjoyed by all communities, to draw the country to that dark period with the purpose of achieving their parochial needs. Isn't it the responsibility of everyone to eternally protect the noble freedom that the motherland has gained by routing such opportunistic groups?
Imperial China on diversity.
The Forbidden City was the Chinese imperial palace from the Ming dynasty to the end of the Qing dynasty. It is located in the center of Beijing, China, and now houses the Palace Museum. For almost 500 years, it served as the home of emperors and their households, as well as the ceremonial and political center of the Chinese government. Built between 1406 and 1420, the complex consists of 980 buildings and covers 180 acres. The palace complex exemplifies traditional Chinese palatial architecture and has influenced cultural and architectural developments in East Asia and elsewhere.
Time then for Prime World.
A very good evening to everyone joining us. I'm Dulanjali Hindukula Surya, and here's a look at world views and world news with Prime World.
The international rights group Amnesty International claimed the US failed to properly investigate civilian killings, including possible war crimes, which occurred during its military operations in Afghanistan. A toughly worded report by the group focused on 10 incidents between 2009 and 2013 that it said saw 140 civilians killed during US military operations. Amnesty said the vast majority of family members it interviewed said they had never been interviewed by US military investigators. Most of the incidents involved airstrikes and night raids carried out by US forces. Both tactics have sparked heated criticism from Afghan civilians and the government, who say the US doesn't take enough care to prevent civilian deaths. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has offered his harshest criticism yet of hardliners opposed to making a deal over its contested nuclear program with world powers, saying they should go to hell. Rouhani made the comments while addressing an annual meeting of Iranian ambassadors calling the hardline critics political cowards. Hardliners have opposed the interim deal struck last year, saying Tehran offered too many concessions in return for too little. However, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has the final say on all state matters, has backed the nuclear negotiating team. Russia has said almost 300 lorries of humanitarian aid have left the Moscow area bound for eastern Ukraine. The cargo, including hundreds of tons of grain, baby food, power generators and medicine, will go to civilians trapped by fighting in the area held by pro-Russia rebels. Moscow said the Ukrainian government had agreed to the operation. Western powers warned Russia not to use humanitarian assistance as a pretext to invade eastern Ukraine. As West African nations struggle to cope with the worst outbreak in decades of the deadly Ebola virus, the US is to send samples to Liberia of an experimental drug. Liberia has recorded the largest number of new deaths in the last 3 days, reaching 29, and has already been forced to quarantine a third province. Across West Africa, the epidemic has killed over 1,000 people. 4 countries have been affected by the outbreak, 3 of which, Guinea, Sierra Leone and Liberia, have all declared states of emergency. Nigeria has confirmed 1 more death, bringing the toll there to 10. After the World Health Organization declared it a global health emergency, China has set a consignment of medical aid to the region. Hundreds of people in the Russian capital Moscow stood in queue at the city's central department store on Red Square to buy T-shirts with pictures of Russian President Vladimir Putin on them. The T-shirts come in a variety of colors and images of Putin, and despite a price tag of $30, they seem to have sparked a buying craze, with many shoppers seen buying more than one. Manufacturers say 7,000 were sold in one day. Among the crowd waiting to get their hands on a Putin T-shirt was American actor Mickey Rourke, who said he had met Putin a few times and was proud to wear the T-shirt.
I met him a couple times, and he was a real gentleman, very cool, regular guy. Looked me right in the eye. I think he's a good guy. If I didn't, believe me, I wouldn't wear the T-shirt.
This is called ice. This is what winter in America feels like.
Our names are on that list.
The Good Lie is an upcoming American drama film written by Margaret Nagle and directed by Philippe Faladou. The film stars Reese Witherspoon, Corey Stoll and Sarah Baker. The film, which is based on real-life events, will feature Witherspoon as a brash American woman assigned to help 4 young Sudanese refugees who win a lottery for relocation to the United States. It is scheduled to be screened on the 3rd of October.
Made my way to the borderline.
I had 34 brothers and sisters, and they all died but one.
And she need to be here with us. You don't have an appointment.
Who do I have to screw around here to see an immigration supervisor?
Me.
Thanks, Cupcake.
That's going to be a problem. All flights from the Kakuma refugee camp have been stopped.
Since 9/11, the program here is stopped indefinitely.
She's a child refugee of war. You sure you're ready to take this on?
Definitely.
You're being asked to make choices no one should have to make.
I don't think they're gonna make it if they're not together.
I will pray for you. ERD.
ERD?
It is our special name for you. It means great white cow.
Well, it's better than a lot of things I've been called.
Holy crap! You can't just break into somebody's house.
There is a reason you do not have a husband.
Okay, thank you so much.
With that, we wrap up this edition of Crime World. Thank you for joining us. It's back to the main desk. Finally, for Prime Sports.
Pakistani off-spinner Saeed Ajmal has been reported for a suspected bowling action following the first test against Sri Lanka in Galle. As per ICC regulations, Ajmal will have to undergo testing of his action within 21 days but can continue bowling until the results of the test are known. According to the ICC, the match officials' report cited concerns over number of deliveries that were considered to be suspected and concluded that the bowler's action needed to be tested. Ajmal was reported for a suspected action in April 2009 also. The report has been handed over to Pakistan's team manager, Moin Khan. Germany's all-time leading goal scorer Miroslav Klose has announced his retirement from international football. The 36-year-old Lazio striker helped his country win the World Cup in the summer, becoming the record scorer in the tournament's history. Klose, who totaled 71 goals in 137 internationals, became the third player to score at 4 World Cup finals. He scored a total of 16 goals at 4 World Cup finals.
That wraps up tonight's bulletin. Visit www.itnews.lk for more. Have a pleasant evening.